1993, then I went to Hillview secondary school. Yeah, secondary school. So I went to Hillview Newlands. There I schooled from January to February. I was stabbed. So I moved out. I dropped out of school.
Why did you get stabbed at Hillbrow?
It was not gangster. Okay, there was this girl, but it's a very long story. I don't want to engage too much of it, but it involved a girl that I liked.
Okay.
You see, so there was a quarrel between me and the guys from living around a territory, end up having this gangster fight. But it was not me as a gangster. They were the
They were
gangsters.
gangsters.
They were gangsters. So now they wanted to intimidate me and things. So there was a quarrel we fought, you see. But now I was already out of school, you see. I was not schooling. So I was just going around roaming the streets because my family went to work, everyone went to school, and they went to school. I was always around. That time I started smoking Mendrex and Dacha. I was already on Dacha and Mendrex in 1993. Okay, what happened? Okay, 1994. I was still not, because now you see, going to 1994, there was so much violence. You see, 1993 was 10 times worse than the 80s. The way things were happening, there was so much death. There was so much, people were going crazy. You see in our locations, when the Umkhonto Wesizwe came back from the 1990s, they came back with so many guns. There were so many guns in KwaMashu. Besides the guns that the ANC bought for the youth, there was so much guns in KwaMashu. There was too much guns, you see, from the ones that they put. And then Umkhonto Wesizwe came back. There were so many guns. We started now making borders now. There was gangsterism. Because I remember I joined that group, what was called Dog Squad from F section. But now, when I was around K section, I was born in G section, but my father put a house in K section. So now in K, I used to always wear a suit and a tie, go to church. So people knew me like that, you see. I was never, like when I was growing up, I was another type of a child. I respected the elders too much. I respected, even now I still respect my elders too much. I respected my elders. I remember, even if I see an elder, I'm standing in my yard, I see there in the street, she's coming there in the corner from the bus stop. I see her with lots of packets. I will run, grab a packet, go to her house, drop a packet. If she pays me money, I will run away. I'll say thank you. I don't want your money. You can never give me money if you send. If I do, you can give me another day, not if I do something for you. So elderly people used to like me too much, because I remember most there were houses where you'll find there was only girls, and it's strict houses. But if the father comes and finds me inside the house, they never had a problem. They know I'm always Sunday, I'm going to church. Even that time, when I was F section, now we're starting doing robberies. You see,
what kind of robberies?
I'm talking about street robberies, because now you see there was so much guns. You see, I'm talking about street robberies. It wasn't something like I move in a gang. I know I'm in that gang. So when I see you, maybe you're wearing nice techies, you're wearing what. Yeah, when I want it, you see. Because most we were feared most. I didn't know, okay, Upo moved to these gangs. But where I lived in K section, nobody knew me. I was known as a church boy, you see, very respectful boy. Yeah. But now when I moved during the day, when my parents said that I go to F section, everything would change. You see, carrying guns and running around, smoking drugs, Mendrex and Batin. And plus, who I listen to too much of Tupac. You see, that man is brainstorming, that man is music. Because I remember one day I was sitting there in F section, I had a clock, not a clock, but it was a 75, a gun, a CZ75. I had a 75 patch here on my front. I was smoking buttons. Hey, then as I was sitting there, I saw the police van going past there as we're sitting. And then another verse came back from me. Say, we travel late nights, see sunrise, getting high, watching the cabs go by. Yeah, so hey, I was parked there. I was parked. I said, I really believed in him. My park was very powerful with lyrics, because I remember most of our age groups.
Yeah, most of his lyrics spoke to you.
Yeah, they spoke. They spoke about the woes of the black man. You see, so now we lived in those woes, because everything we saw there was death and gangsterism and guns. You see, so we started carrying guns, running around, robbing people in the locations. Okay, 1995, we went to 1994. 1994.
Liberation
I registered, yes. I registered again in January. I registered again in Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that was there. I was shot. I was shot inside the house. 4 people came inside. 3 came inside. Two were inside the house. One was inside the house. 2, they took me outside and they hit me with blocks. They wanted a gun.
Okay.
They went to the gun. They came into my father's house. It was my granny and my mother. So they put me outside. Look for that gun. I couldn't show them. I ran inside the house. They fired. I got shot. But they shot about 4 or 5 times. But I was shot once on the leg. You see, and then after that, the lights of the house tripped. They ran away. They moved. When they ran away, when they ran away, okay, my father took me to hospital. Okay, I came back. From then on, I never went back to school. I remember once I ran away after 1995. I went to Zululand.
Okay.
Because now it was not because I was shot. It was after the incident.
Okay.
But now there were other incidents also because now we were a group moving with guns. You see, where one guy was shot, not by me. It was shot by one of the guys of my gang. So now the whole gang, they wanted now to retaliate, to fight. So I must run away from me. I'm going to die. So I went to Zululand. When I arrived in Zululand, it was January. I still remember the school. It was Tyson Technical High School, you see. So when I came there, I decided, let me go back to school. But now the thing is, you see now, my high standard pass was standard 5. So now, if my highest pass standard was 5, I took my brother's reports in Blue Lake. I took my cousin's report. He had passed standard 8 going to standard, passed standard 7 going to standard 8.
Okay.
So when I took his reports, I went to Tyson Tech. I reached at standard 8. You see now. So now they're asking me X times X. I don't even know why must I times X with X. You see, they telling me about X times P. I don't know why must I times X times P. So there it was like you're taking a child, you're throwing him in a deep end because that was a technical high school.
Okay.
Me, first thing I come from what? From Guamara, where there was never even like the only standard that I was taught was standard 3, 4, 5 in Fuente. It was the only time that I was ever taught in my life in those 3 years. Yeah, only those 3 years. It's the only education that I still had. Even now, that little bit of English that I speak, I can say it came from there. Because after that, there was never anyone who educated me. Because even in that school, I was more of a chaos. Like when I was sitting in class, I used to simply go to a teacher, can I go and smoke? I won't ask him, maybe I could. And they feared me. I came from KZN, and my cousin was also in that school when I first came. So he told everybody that I was short. Say, what's inside my house? What? So now Zululand at that time, and the guy coming from a location, and he was short and all that. So everybody feared me, even the teachers, everyone feared me. So I was more of a nonsense in the school than a student. Okay. You see, I smoked everywhere. I was on drugs. I was on dacha. I sit like this. I smoke dacha in front of the class. You see, because we went and smoked behind the classes. So now the class is sitting here, they can see me smoking. You see, I was just chaos in the school. There was nothing zero. Because even when I failed with 0% all subjects, you see, because I never did nothing. Only metal mechanics, I was good at cars, fixing cars. Since I was young, I was a mechanic. I fixed my father's car when I was very, very young. I remember when I was 7 years. Doing the brakes and services. I used to service the cars since I was 7 years. You see, it was only motor mechanics that I passed, and it was practical. But I got tired of that. 1996, I dropped out. I came back to KZN. Not that I dropped out. We closed for June. When the school closed for June, I came back to collect the money and go back. So my brother now decided, okay, now we must start doing crime. You see, my elder brother.
Older brother.
Yes, my elder brother. So he took me in now because I won't blame him. I won't say it was him because me too, I didn't want to go back because there was nothing for me back then. I couldn't understand nothing in that place. You see, first thing it's Zululand. Second thing, I just needed another fresh start. But there, I didn't want also to go back to the location because there was too much guns. So he was a person who did breaking and stealing. So now I started joining him. From that time on, I started doing crime, you see. But in my years of doing crime, like I said, it was my anger because, you see, I always look at the States and I look at South Africans. South Africans are hypocrites. The States is hypocritic states because now, like, from the times that we fought, if you're going back now to the struggle now, it was 1960. The Sharpeville shooting of Sobukwe. After the shooting, Mandela, they were arrested in 1964. So when Mandela and all the other political officers were arrested in 1964, our fathers must fear to stand up and fight against oppression because what they saw in Sharpeville. So now